Great album. On one of those, on one of his bits on the album, it had go-karts. It had a part of it about go-karts, and he explained how to build a go-kart on the thing and everything like that. So we decided to build one of these go-karts, and he showed you how to, he told you how to put the wheels on, how to put the nail into the axle so it would turn and stuff like that. So we built a go-kart. I wrecked on my go-kart and ran the nail right up my butt. That's what happened to me. That's right. Even back in the 60s, I was getting nailed because of Bill Cosby. Oh, there goes another ooh, I heard that. All right. I love it when you... I dedicated a lot of time in everything I did, actually. I spent 7 years, I dedicated 7 years of my life to high school. I got that going for me anyway. Anyway, practicing on this one, huh? Okay. Cut through the college crap. Did anybody go to college? You did? I like to encourage students. I do. I like to encourage you to quit. You don't need college, really, do you? Everybody out there, you don't need college, man. Take it from me. I know. Look at me. I didn't go to college. You could turn out just like this. Yeah. I cut through that college crap, went right into construction work. Yeah, I was a contractor. But you folks don't even want to know some of the stuff I've contracted. It wasn't that, oh well. I hate working out in the winter too. Man, that was rough. I tried to put a bunch of clothes on, as much clothes as I could, 5, 6 pair of pants. The biggest problem I had was going to the bathroom, trying to get that inch of Peter out of 2 inches of clothing. Standing in a little box playing Stretch Armstrong, watching it snap back. Ooh, it was rough. That was a tough time. Tough time. I even tried robbing a bank one time, but the teller in the bank wouldn't send the money or the gun back through the vacuum tube. It's horrible. Good thing I was sitting in the driver's seat. Good thing I was sitting in the getaway car, I guess. Yeah. Now I'm getting old. Getting old, man. I was driving down the interstate the other day, and I really hate these kids. They're in their 20s, 25 years old. Man, I can't stand some of them. I was driving down the interstate. I was passing one, and I seen one of them texting. Yeah, he was on there texting on his phone. You know how dangerous it is to be texting and driving on the interstate? I tried to get his attention, so I just kind of sideswiped him a little bit, so he'd pay attention to me. Yeah, he ended up running off the road and ran through a fence. I told the cops he was texting, Gotta ram them to make sure they pay attention to you. Yeah, kids are crazy. I actually heard a 25-year-old kid go, "I can sure tell I'm getting older." And I'm thinking, what? How can you tell you're getting older? Did you stop peeing the bed this morning? Huh? Or maybe you quit wearing that stupid backpack you had in high school. I seen some kids still wearing those, You're not getting older, you're getting better. You're only 25 years old, for crying out loud. I'm getting older. I know I'm getting older because I started peeing the bed this morning. But I was standing up, doing it right. Yeah, I was adult about it, Yeah, I went to bed last night and I had that restless leg syndrome. Woke up this morning in Michigan. Yeah, it's a long walk back too, Yeah, getting old, your bowels work and they're rumbling all the time, And then back in the old days, I used to have these relaxation tapes. They were just well sounds, but you put it, you lay back in your recliner, you put your earphones on, you listen to them, and they would relax you, They were just well sounds. Nowadays, I don't have them tapes. All I need is a stethoscope, and I listen to my bowel. Sounds the same, just like the well sounds. The only problem, I relax so much, I fall asleep and poop. That's horrible, isn't it? That's how old I'm getting. I came out of a show not too long ago. Not too long ago. Another one of these young kids, young woman, probably 24 years old. She came up to me and she goes, "You look like one of my favorite celebrities." Now what? And I'm trying to think, well, who would be her favorite celebrity that looks like me? Huh? Then I'm thinking, well, maybe she likes Danny DeVito or Larry David or something like that. I could tell that. But that's not what she said. She said, I look like Walter from the Jeff Dunham Show. Yeah. So I want to do my impression of Walter for you, okay? And you guys, you can tell me what you think. You can check it out and see if you think this looks like Walter. This is Walter. Shut the hell up. I don't know where in the hell we are, but can't wait to get out of here. Now, does that look like Walter to you guys? Oh, thanks. Now everybody thinks I look like a dummy. That's great. It's fantastic. I'm not bald like Walter, I've heard a guy say that to me. Hey, it's Bob. That's not only your name, it's your hairstyle. What? What are you talking about? I'm not bald. At least I don't think I am. But I used to have that long, beautiful hair. Used to use Head and Shoulders all the time. But now I just use shoulders. Yeah. I tried taking Rogaine one time, but I quit taking it because hair started growing on the roof of my mouth all over my tongue. I had a problem shaving, so I quit doing it. Now I'm just an old bald guy. That's all I am, just an old bald guy in the world. And there's only one thing in this world that's worse than being an old bald guy. And that's being a young bald guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, if you're in your 20s and you're starting to go bald, you might as well just carry around a couple of bottles of scotch because you're going to hear about everything in the world. Yeah. I remember when I was in my 20s, I started going bald. Yeah. Weird. I thought the cause of my baldness was the gonorrhea. But then I realized both of it just happened about the same time in life, that's all. Isn't that weird? That's really strange. Now I'm down to doing one trick. I can only do one trick. I can take an empty bottle of shampoo out of the garbage. I can make it last 2 more weeks. I'm kidding again. I'm BSing you. You show me a bald guy that's using shampoo, and I'll show you a guy that's got clean balls. I can't wait until they come out with head and nuts. I would never get out of the shower. I used shampoo today, matter of fact. Crazy, man. I'm also married. That I spend a lot of time doing that. You got to spend a lot of time doing that. I learned that husbands don't do anything, right? They do nothing. Just ask any wife. Ask her what her husband does, and she'll say, nothing. And that's where I have a problem with my wife. We think differently. That's what we do. My wife came home the other day, and she goes, now it's fall time. I think you can work a little more in the yard doing some stuff I wanted you to do. And I was thinking I could pack a bag and be in like Florida in a couple hours, That's how much differently we're thinking here, Because I don't want to work out in the yard. She's got all these yard ornaments in the yard, you have to pull them all out. I got so many things in my yard that lights up at night. It's not good enough to have yard ornaments just for the day. Now you have to have them at night, and they glow. And, I woke up the other day and I thought a UFO landed in my backyard. I know I have some problems with UFOs because they used to come over and cultivate sperm from me. Yeah, little bastards are sneaky. I tried to catch them, but they're sneaky. They always leave a little bit in your pants trying to make you feel like you've done it yourself. They're wild. All right, I got about a minute. Oh, there. Somebody walked in front of the timer. Freaks me out. All right. Oh, my wife's nuts, I tell you, man. She come home the other day and she goes, that new health club down the street? They have a new deal. I can lose 20 pounds for only $20. So I gave her 100. I tried to give her more, but I didn't want her to disappear, So she's weird. My wife's great. I've been married to her a long, long time. I do have a lot of jokes about her. I'm running out of time. This is going to be the last one. My wife's great. She's a wonderful person. She's one of those Martha Stewart types, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she just got out of prison a couple of months ago. We're really happy to have her back home, though, us and the kids, because she is a good cook. She cooks meth. That's her problem. Okay, that's my time. And we're going to bring the MC up right now. Well, maybe. Can we get a...
Actually, the MC stays back here now. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Rob Strausman.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, next we're going to bring up to the stage a new performer to the Comedy Grinder. Please extend a warm welcome to the stage, Miss Kimber Renee.
Oh man, I've never been here before. This is pretty cool. Oh my gosh, I got all these cameras around me. Look, I work in sales during the day, and then I come here at night. I feel like Hannah Montana. Let's just say that. So, here's the thing. The one place, okay, where every man, woman, and child has to hold the door for the person behind them is at the Gentleman's Club. Look, little Timmy's got to learn, Manners are hard. You're 7. I get that. But let Candy Cane in first, then go in. So as you can tell, I don't have kids. I'm in my mid-20s. I just graduated from college, so all those college jokes. But, when you're in your 20s at this point in your life, you look around and all of your friends are either getting drunk, getting married, or getting pregnant. And I'm in stage 1, so. And when you look through, like, say, your Facebook feed or whatever, you scroll through, you see, someone's getting married here, someone's having kids there, someone's getting proposed over there, bam, bam, bam. Here's my problem with it, the proposals. Why don't women ever propose to men, Boom. Right? Here's the thing. Women, we make the wedding, we're the ones who are the creative type, okay? We're the ones who pick the birthday presents and pick the birthday cards or make the birthday cards, and the man signs his name, and there's a reason, okay? I was thinking, why don't women start proposing to men? Like, we could come up with some great proposals, right? Okay, here's an idea. Let's say he likes video games, and you take his controller and you put the ring around one of the analog sticks and you hand it back to him and you say, will you be my player number 2? Right? Right? Isn't that cute? Or maybe he likes craft beer. Yeah? And you take his favorite beer, you pour it in the appropriate glass, and you put the ring in there and you hand it back. It's something simple. They don't have to be complicated. And here's the thing, make sure it's not a stout or else that ring is going to get lost. If you get that, we're going out after this, just saying. Remember, stage 1. Or let's say he really likes sports, and He's watching Sports Center one day. What you do is you take the ring box, get down one knee in front of him, and you go, "Hey, will you marry me?" Yeah? See, we could come up with the best proposals. Like, let us do it, okay? But, like, me, I'm not really at that point in my life either. I mean, I've been with this guy for a while. He's got a degree, also a smart guy. In fact, when he was in high school, he studied 3 different languages. That's why I like to call him my Rosetta Stoner. I just wrote that for here, because come on. That's a joke. He actually took 4 languages. Yeah. but no. I just graduated back in May. So it's still kind of fresh in my mind of what I learned during my college years. And it's not just things you find out in the classroom, right? We all get that, you go out and do all these weird things. One thing that I learned is that not all old white dudes with long white beards are wizards. They're not. And you look shocked. I know. That's because I'm telling you. I had to learn the hard way, okay? Here's how it happened. I was alone at night walking down the street. All of the assault me please boxes on the checklist were checked. Oh, and I'm a woman. All of them checked off, right? Walking down the street. What do I see ahead of me? Old white dude, long white beard, he's a wizard. Check, check, check. Right? So now I am acting naturally, right? Because I don't want to be Avada Kedavra, okay? So I'm going down the street like this, and, walking, I pass him, and then I hear a shout. And if there's anything that we all know about wizards, even if you're just a casual observer, wizards only shout when they need to, okay? Example, Gandalf. Remember a century and a half ago when he shouted, "You shall not pass"? Still right here, right here. Or, I don't know, when he's falling to his death and he's grabbing onto the edge for dear life and he looks up at Frodo and Sam and he goes, "Fly, you fools," and he falls. Okay, he was looking at them because he wanted them to, I don't know, take the Eagles to Mordor instead of walking there with no shoes on like really smart guys. And look, Peter Jackson made tons of money off of 2 extra movies. I'm not bitter. Anyway, so when this wizard shouted at me on that street that day, I knew that I needed to listen. So I did. And all he said was, "Can you spare some change?" I can't do a very good old man impression. And at that moment, I knew. Wizards don't need money. You kidding me? And I was offended because he was wearing a wizard costume to get my spare change. Really? Really? So I showed him my wands and I kept going because that's what you do. And another thing I learned during my time in college is that the internet has the power to ruin everything you've ever known and loved. And I think we all know this to a certain extent. Here's an example. Christopher Columbus. I remember being in elementary school, sitting Indian style. Wasn't called Native American when I was a young lass. Wearing my little 3-cornered hat, learning about this awesome guy named Christopher Columbus, who sailed the ocean blue and was friends with everybody. Now, I was 6 at the time. That means I had been in North America for 6 years straight, and I didn't have one goddamn friend, so I was naturally curious. So at the time, I had to rationalize why that was the case. How was he so friendly? And I came up with this conversation that he must have had when he first landed on that new world, right? It's basically, Christopher Columbus goes up to the teepee of the Indian chief, again, Indian, and he knocks. It doesn't make sound, it's a teepee. And the chief whips open the flap, and Columbus goes, "Hi, My name is Christopher Columbus, and my friends and I sailed here across the ocean blue to hang out with you guys for a little bit. You know, we have some knowledge you may not have, and you may have some knowledge that we don't have, and we thought that we would share it. And the chief goes, "How?" Not because he was like asking how that would be done. He was saying hi. Columbus didn't even give him the chance. And then the chief goes, I don't know what you said to me or why you're here, but you smile, and we need a lot of smiles around here. We're skinning animals, okay? So sure, do whatever you want. And then Columbus goes in for the traditional fist bump, while the chief wanted to do that Wingapa wave that I had remembered from Pocahontas. So then it became this like weird moving snail thing, and like that's why we use turkeys for Thanksgiving. I had to rationalize a lot of things. The world is weird. So then, after hearing of that, I got on the internet and I learned the truth. Now, if you don't know, where have you been? A, and B, and here's the thing, I'm an advocate for free speech. I don't like to censor myself, so I'm not going to censor myself here when I say this, but Columbus was not nice. He was mean, okay? He raped, pillaged, everything bad you could think that a person could do, he did it, okay? That's why he won. And also, if you Google pictures of him, he kind of looks like Snow White and Wario got down and had a kid. So then you get this like Wario face with like beautiful hair, pale, perfect skin, right? Just wearing that three-cornered hat on a pile of bones, going, my hat, it has three corners have my hat, and had it not three corners, it would not be my hat. Thanks, man. Before I go, I have something on my mind. And it's been on my mind since I could wipe my own ass. Do you know what toilet paper is? Like, do you really know what toilet paper is? As I realize that what it is it's a tax on the good old people of the US of A to have a clean asshole. And I don't like it one bit, okay? Here's the thing. The Bill of Rights should have had an extra right tacked onto the bottom of it, written on a piece of toilet paper that says every American has the right to free TP. Free TP. Free TP. No. and it's come to mind more recently now, like I'm thinking of it a lot more now than I used to, because apparently there's this rumor that if Trump loses this next election, we're gonna have a taco truck on every corner of this nation. And I want all of my men, women, and children to be armed in that crisis, okay? Let freedom wipe! All right, that's my time.
Keep it going for Kimberly. That was a fun set. Good job on the new gal. All right, we're going to keep things rolling right along, as we like to do here at the First Church of Canvas. And we are going to bring our next comedian to the stage. Please welcome J.C. Harvey.
All right! That's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get the mic off of here. All right, listen up. When I say J, y'all say C. J! C. J! C. That's right! Kick this off right now. It's a little bit of color. I said a little bit of color. People don't really look at me and they're like, yeah, you're not that black, are you? Like, most guys I talk to is like, we're cool, you just can't date my sister. Like, I get it. It's fine. I understand where I'm at. I had something interesting happen to me today. I had like a self-actualization. I was at the grocery store. This is a 100% true story. This might not be funny. I just want to tell you guys a story. I saw this kid. I was like a high school kid, you know, and he was holding in his hands 2 packs of double stuffed Oreos and a gallon of chocolate milk. And I was like, wow, you're going to have an interesting weekend. And I looked down at my cart, and I had 2 cases of beer and a bag of Fritos. And I was like, no, actually, this is what you have to look forward to. I am your future. I am your future. You're going to evolve into me like a Pokemon. Let's talk about any Pokemon fans in the crowd? Any Pokemon fans? We got some. I'm playing the Pokemon Go's. Of course, I love it. My girlfriend and I we go out and we do this because we're both big nerds. We were at the canal in Indianapolis, and this was like right when it first came out, and there was like just people playing everywhere. And this dude saw like a big group of people just playing, and they're on their phones and stuff. And he thought that it would be a good idea to yell at everybody. And then he realized that it was actually a horrible decision. You ever hear somebody like start to talk and be like, oh, this is not going to go well? This is exactly what this dude did. He goes, hey, everybody playing Pokemon Go. Yo, never mind. It's like just tapered off and kept walking because he saw it's like 100 people look up at him like, what? Say something, and I'm going to say Charmander on your ass. Which brings me to my next point. Why are Pokemon always so like pissed off when they come out of their Pokeballs? Like, what's going on in there that's making them so like upset and just ready to fight? I just imagine it's like their own personal hell. Like, you got Charmander in his Pokeball, and he's not having a very good life, but then he's got his brother Charmander, and his family, and they're sitting down having dinner, and, big brother Charmander says, so, how's work going? Oh, that's right, you lost your job. Sorry about that. But how's your wife doing? She left you. Ooh, she took the kids too? Oh, man, that's got to be rough. Oh, the Charmander's sitting there like, oh, let me out of this fucking Pokeball. I'm ready to fuck some shit up. Next thing you know, Charmander, I choose you. He's like, flamethrower, bitch. Ha! It's just, I don't know. I have a very awkward imagination if you haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm actually a blurred. Means I'm a black nerd. There's a few different sides of that coin. It means I like comic books, but I steal them. That's true. Flip side to that coin, though, it means I got a big dick, but I can't use it. Just saying. Any ladies watching the stream, this shit is still in its original package, if you know what I'm saying. Mint condition. In its original box. Trying to put it in somebody else's. What's up? Dorks in the back know what I'm talking about. Okay. Cool. Oh, man. My friends never asked me to do anything cool. Like, because I'm a blurred, so they asked me to break into things, but not like a house or a car. They asked me to break into, like, Facebook accounts. It's not as exciting. It's actually, like, I want to feel like I could help if somebody was asking me to break into a house, but realistically, if somebody was like, all right, JC, get the other half of that TV, I'll be like, no. No, I'll get the cables. You're gonna need cables, HDMI. If you want to hook it up, I'll hook it up for you. You get the TV. That's my specialty. You carry the stuff. I don't know. I'm not a strong man. I'm not even like a big dude. I feel like I look like if Drake went on a hunger strike and stopped shaving. I don't know. No, that would be weird. I don't know. I don't really like being this skinny. Like this dude that I work with, he started coming up and putting a quarter on my desk every other day. I was like, Larry, why are you putting a quarter on my desk every other day? He goes, oh, yeah, man. I saw a commercial late one night that said that you could feed a hungry African kid for 25 cents a day. I was like, that's a little racist, but follow-up question, why are you doing it every other day? He goes, oh, yeah, well, you're only half, so I figured it would balance out. Like, now you're double racist and I'm going to HR. You son of a bitch. Just in case you didn't hear it the first time, we got a replay going in the background. Oh, shoot. Any wrestling fans? Any wrestling fans? Just me. I'm going to talk about it anyways, so buckle up. I had a dude tell me that he was like, oh, you watch WWE, you know that's fake, right? I'm like, come on, man. You don't have to tell me that that's fake. I get it. I understand. I mean, Game of Thrones isn't real. Walking Dead isn't real. The election isn't real. You don't see me bursting your bubbles. And if I want to live in the reality where the Undertaker and his demon brother from hell can rise to the top of the tag team division and win the championships, I would rather live in that reality than the reality that Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States of America. Okay? I let you have yours. You let me have mine. I got, anybody here have roommates? Roommates? You got some roommates in the crowd? I used to live with this dude. We would drink all the time. Surprise. But he came home just drunk as shit one night. And I'm in my bed. Like, I'm ready. You know, I'm going to sleep. I got work tomorrow. He comes in my room and gets in my bed and puts his arm around me. And I'm like, we're cool. So I'm like, all right, this is okay. And then he goes, hey, JC, you know, we're not gay. But I'm like, well, let me stop you right there. Because we're not gay is true. And there are no buts. So get your dick out of mine, okay? Not cool. Not cool. Hopefully your roommates are better than mine. Is the moral of that story. I got pulled over this one time when I was in North Carolina. I was in North Carolina doing a few shows out there. And this cop pulls me over and license and registration. So I give him my license and he goes, oh, I see you're from Indianapolis. I said, yes, sir, I am. And he goes, huh. Well, what team do you play for? And I was like, I'm straight. Not sure where this is going, man, but I'm not going to try to get out of the ticket. So, oh shoot, I have actually been to jail, and that wasn't fun. What happened? Like the reason I know you're thinking like, oh JC, what'd you go to jail for? Was it drugs? Was it murder? No, it was a speeding ticket that I had. I didn't pay for it, and that's illegal. You can't do that. They'll come and find you and put you in jail with real criminals. Like, I mean, seriously, these guys are drug offenders and domestic abusers, and I'm a level 100 shaman. That's a skill set that doesn't mean much in jail. I was casting spells and everything. No, it actually reminded me a lot like high school, you know, like nobody really liked me and the food sucked. The only difference was I had a pretty good chance of getting laid in jail, so I was rolling my odds on that one. I saw some crazy shit in the shower, and by that I mean I saw a crazy guy take a shit in the shower. And at first I'm thinking, like, this dude is crazy, like, he's outside of his mind. And then I thought about it, like, nobody's gonna fuck him tonight. Like if you just imagine like how nasty it is like to watch somebody, like if you ever watch your girlfriend or wife or fiance like take a good poop, you lose it. You're just like, not tonight. You get a pass. I don't know. Just me? Okay, that's fine. You nasty sons of bitches. I don't know. I just lost my erection just thinking about it, so I don't know if you can see it on the live stream if I need to back up. Oh, man, I don't know. Any Tinder? Anybody on Tinder? Do the Tinder thing? One person chuckled. Everybody else is looking at me like I'm dumb. They recently changed Tinder. I mean, I haven't been on it in a while, so I don't want to say recently because I have a girlfriend. But when I was on Tinder, it went through like an evolution because you used to just like swipe right on every thing that popped up. I mean, this is what it used to be like for a dude on Tinder. It's like, oh, hey, look, she's got two eyes. Swipe to the right. Like, that's all it was. That's how easy it was for a woman on Tinder. It's like, oh, she's got one eye. I'm into some kinky shit. Swipe to the right. Let's party, you know? Then you get this one, like, oh, shit, she's got no eyes. Well, if you ever have sex, you'll never see me coming, swiping to the right. What's up? No cum jokes? Cum jokes aren't working? Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to force them down your throat. Then there's another one. All right. Thanks for the drum roll back there. Are we having fun? Are we having a good time? And my stepdad told me that I would never amount to anything. And if he could only see me now telling jokes in front of several people, I think he would change his opinion of me. Or probably not, actually. I don't think he would. So yeah, like I said, I'm a mixed breed. I am a mulatto, as they say. So it means that I'm half black and half white. So really, when I get pulled over by the police, they only beat me half to death. So I'm killing the game, as they say. No, my parents weren't together when I was growing up. Surprise! So my dad, he would hit on every adult female in my life. It got a little weird, but you get used to it after a while. I was at baseball practice one day. I was a little kid. Dad was supposed to come pick me up. He doesn't show, so Coach Tammy has to give me her cell phone so I can call him, see where he's at. So I said, hey, Dad, where you at? Coach Tammy gave me your cell phone so I could call you. Of course, my daddy goes, ooh, Coach Tammy. Ooh, what she look like? I was like, I don't, Dad, she's right here. And he goes, all right, son, scale from 1 to 10, what she look like? I'm like, a 5? My dad said, son, I only fuck with 6s or better. Call your mother. And hangs up. Coach Tammy just looks at me all confused, like, well, what happened? And I was like, well, he's not picking me up because you couldn't put on makeup, ugly bitch. Hope you feel good about yourself. Because now I'm walking. After baseball practice is now the time I want to walk. But no, I was a bad kid. I was mean. There was this time I got caught looking up the teacher's skirt when I was in elementary school, and she wasn't having it, right? So she takes me to the office, grabs it, says, you're going to call your father. You're going to tell him what you did. And I'm like, dang it. So I call him up. I'm like, hey, Dad, Miss Jones just caught me looking up her skirt. Of course, my daddy goes, ooh, Miss Jones. What she look like? And I learned my lesson by this point, right? I'm like, solid 9. Of course, my daddy goes, that's my boy. Call your mother, and hangs up. He didn't do a lot of parenting is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So I call my mom. She's far less impressed of my accomplishments for the day. All she says is, your ass, my belt. I said, shit, Miss Jones, Mom's going to beat my ass with the belt. She goes, good. That's what you get. So I'm scared, right? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I go to my brother. I'm like, Jeremy, you got to help me. Mom's going to beat my ass with the belt. What do I do? He goes, all right, here's what you're going to do. Let her get in a couple good hits, right? So on the third one, what you'll do is you'll turn around, put your arm up like this, let the belt wrap around your arm, tuck it and hold it as long as you can. Hope she gets tired. I'm like, cool. What could go wrong? Well, let me tell you, a fucking lot could go wrong, and a lot did go wrong. First of all, shit you not, Mom's wearing sweatpants and a headband like this is about to be a workout session, okay? So I get home, look at Mom. She comes out to me. She goes, you, pants down. So I take my pants down. Don't worry, live stream. Pants aren't actually coming down. Unless, is this going on YouPorn? I don't know. Nah, We'll worry about that later. So I take my pants down. Here comes my mom with the belt. It's 1, psh, 2, psh. And on the third one, just like my brother said, I come around, I put my arm up just like this, and my mom's eyes lit up super big because I left my whole chest area just wide open. And I don't know if there's any tennis fans in the room, but my mom came across like Serena Williams on the first serve. She just said, "What?" I said, "No, massa. I mean, mommy. No." It was so bad. I just went up in my room and started humming. One dude in the audience goes, "That's wrong." I'm glad, because there's only 2 types of people that get that joke, black people and racists, so thank you. At least for acknowledging, it's like, ooh, that's in poor taste. This is fun. I like this. When do we pull out the green stuff? I'm liking this. This is a party, right? It's the first church of cannabis. Oh. I like the setup. I like the, it looks like we're shooting an album cover or some shit over here. Dr. Dre. Is this like Dr. Dre, like the Chronic album cover right here? I don't know. One Love. Wait, one. I don't know. I said I'm not that black, okay? I'm assuming Dr. Dre is a rapper. I don't know. It's a... I gotta step my black game up. Oh. What else are we gonna do? We got I like to do I get on Facebook a lot. I'm just gonna ask. I know this is probably a dumb question, but we got Facebook people. I mean, obviously people are on Facebook Live watching the stream. You guys use Facebook, cool. One of the cool things about Facebook that I recently found is that you can turn on notifications. So like when people are close to you, Facebook will warn you, like send you notification like, hey, like I was at the grocery store and Facebook was like, hey, Tyson is nearby, and I was like, oh, thanks Facebook, I owe him $20. Watch out for Tyson. So then I did like what any normal person would do. I just started friending like all of my ex-girlfriends and like the police department. I want to know where they're at, knowing they're nearby. I don't know. So let's what do you guys want to talk about? I feel like the black stuff was working well. Should we go back to that? I like the cosplay. Any cosplayers in here? Was that an awkward transition? I don't care. I like the cosplay, but it's like there's not a lot that I can do being like like a mixed breed. It's like I want to I like superheroes and stuff, but I don't know what superheroes I'm supposed to be like. The half Black Panther, or and I could do like Aquaman with floaties. I could do Batman, whose dad didn't die; he just stopped showing up. I feel like this is just the sad confessions of JC time. I'm getting more awes than like laughter and applause. Oh, I don't know. So, yeah. So I'm gonna tell you. I'll never forget the. Okay, I feel like. Sorry, I'm switching stories. I'm thinking about something I want to say, and then I'm like, no, we'll talk about it later. I don't feel like I'm dark enough to use the N-word, but I want to. Like, people ask me all the time, like, oh, JC, like, yeah, can you say the N-word? And I'm like, yeah, duh, of course I can. But I don't do it around real black people, though. I'm not dumb. I do it just like everybody else when they're in their car with the windows rolled up listening to Tupac, okay? I've been around that block. Oh, I feel like people can be racist on accident. That usually gets a reaction from the crowd, so I'll let that sink in. One of the prime examples is my my girlfriend's grandpa, we were over there having dinner one day, and he goes, all right, JC, I bet I can guess which country you're from. And I'm like, I bet this is going to get awkward. He goes, I bet you're Muslim. And I was like, I bet you don't know how countries work. Because Muslim isn't a country. And he goes, oh, well, you're not Muslim, are you? And I was like, no. And he goes, oh, good, because there's sausage in that cheese dip. And I don't like Muslims. Oh. I was like, well, what a roundabout way of asking me if I'm something that you hate. I don't know. That's not even my favorite time somebody was accidentally racist to me. My favorite time I was at work, and this lady, after a meeting, she pulls me aside and she goes, you know, JC, you are so articulate. You sound white, but you don't look Caucasian. Were your parents different? I think they were. I was like, damn. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. I was just about to tell you that you sound racist. Oh, but you don't smell poor. Were your parents siblings? I think they were. Then I had to go to HR. The moral of the story is don't be an asshole at work, I guess. But I will tell you about the first time that anybody ever dropped the N-bomb on me. And like most African Americans will tell you that it's like a terrible, awful, tragic experience. Mine was hilarious. I was at church, and it was youth group. So there was we were doing a fundraiser. It was a car wash. So like I'm in charge of rinsing off all the cars like after people wash them, right? So I didn't know that there was this kid on the other side of this van. Now let me explain something to this kid. I'm gonna tell you up front. I'm not making fun of this kid. It's pertinent to the story, okay? Because this kid, he was like he had like a speech thing. Like when he talked, he was like, beep, 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 like Beaker from Muppets, basically. I'm not making fun of this kid. It's pertinent to the story, right? So, well, here comes this van, right? And it's all like it's done. In my mind, it looks done. So I take the hose and I just rinse off, like just drench this van. And this kid's on the other side of the van, and I drench this kid. This is what happens. He comes around side of the van. He looks at me. He goes, "Hey, nickel!" And I was like, "What? You want a nickel? Like I don't have any change." And like I'm confused. No idea what this kid just said. And out of nowhere, his mom comes running up. "Oh my God, he's so sorry. He doesn't know what he's saying. He gets it from his father." Which, by the way, not an excuse. Don't use that. That's not a thing. So I'm like confused. I just go about my day, but I'm wondering like, what the hell just happened? So my dad comes to pick me up finally, and I get in his car, and I've just got this dumbfounded look on my face because I have no idea what just happened. So Dad looks at me. He goes, "Oh, what's wrong, son? You look confused." I was like, I don't know, Dad. Some kid just called me a nickel. He goes, "What? Did you beat his ass?" I was like, "What? No. Why would I? It was a slow kid. I'm not going to be the church kid that beat up the slow kid at church. Like, no, I didn't do it." And he was like, "All right, well, where's his dad? I'm going to go beat his ass." And I was like, "His dad's not there. It was just him and his mom." Of course, my daddy goes, "Ooh, what that racist bitch look like?" Anyways, I think I'm done on that note. Thanks everybody. I've been JC. Thanks for tuning in live on Facebook. I'm out.
Keep it going for JC Harvey. That was pretty funny. All right, now we're going to bring up another veteran to the Comedy Grinder. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Sean Shank.
Hey, JC. You can use the N word, but like only half of it. No. Just go. Yeah, you're gonna sound like an angry bear all day. Love that movie. So, for a long time, I've gotten a lot of flack from other comics for how I dress on stage. Apparently, it's not appropriate to wear shorts and a t-shirt, but that's what I always wear when I'm on stage. There's even a book about comedy that is titled "Do Not Wear Shorts on Stage." And my comedy buddies are always telling me, they're like, dude, you're dressed like you're waiting for a dodgeball tournament to break out. And, okay, first of all, you never know. And, second of all, when I was a kid, my dad always told me, like, dress for the job that you want. And the job that I want is a job where I can dress like this. And that's this job. All right, I'm going to ask you guys a question. I want you to answer at the same time as a group. All right, so I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to answer as a group. All right. Who is the big-bootied chick that is married to Kanye West? Kim Kardashian. Right. Okay, next question. How much money did the U.S. spend on foreign aid last year?
Kim Kardashian.
$35 billion, just in case you're... Jesus. So, just think about that joke there next time you want to go popping off on Facebook about shit that you don't really know. Like, there's a lot of shit that's going on. Do you guys know there was an oil spill in the Amazon? Yeah. There's also a spill in the Gulf of Mexico. 90 million gallons of oil in the Gulf of Mexico. Again. Yeah. I don't know, I just figure I'm at a pot church. I should talk about social issues. Another social issue. Who in here has worked retail or works retail? By round of applause. Yeah. You're comics, of course you do. Retail sucks. It is like the most horrible job in the world. Like retail, because you get to see the worst of humanity, and you have the worst hours and the worst bosses. Retail is the most horrible thing in the world. And I thought, and I've worked retail, so I know. But I did meet one guy that loved his job in retail. I was in Denver, Colorado. And I stopped at this place called Good Greens. It was a dispensary. And I walked in with my buddy, and we walked in the front door, and I shit you not, there sat behind the front desk the happiest hippie I've ever seen in my life. We literally walked in, he's like, "What's up, bros?" And I look at my friend Chris, I'm like, "Is this dude for real?" He's like, "Okay, dudes, here's the deal. Gonna need your driver's licenses. Thank you. Not trying to be like the Gestapo, but we just need to know who comes through here. Next, you're gonna go into the next room, and you're gonna talk to your bud tenders." He laughed. And he was just like the happiest dude that I've ever seen. And he was working retail. So you know what that tells me? They should legalize pot everywhere. Because if they can make somebody working in retail happy, pot is magic. Yeah, more of a political statement, I guess. I don't know. This is all new stuff. It's the end of the world. The lights are out. So I'm just doing new shit. My grandma died recently. I'm good at segues. And she was bounced around to like a couple different nursing homes, And the thing that I noticed about each of the nursing homes is that they didn't have any swimming pools. And, I figured they would, because of the therapy and all that stuff, but none of them had swimming pools, and it always seemed strange to me. But then I thought about it for a long time, and I realized probably not a good idea, Because can you imagine, like, a whole bunch of old people in Depends jumping into a swimming pool at the same time? Just like a bunch of 90-year-olds trapped in a marshmallow. Got into an argument with a dude I know the other day. It's for a friend. Got into an argument with a guy I know the other day, and we got into an argument about the dumbest thing, which was UFOs. And now his contention, and he's like one of these like pseudo-intellectual, I've gone to college type, and I've gone to college, but I'm not an asshole about it, right? But this guy's like, just I'm food, that kind of dude. And so we're arguing about it, and his contention is that in this entire universe that is infinite and ever expanding, with literally billions upon billions of planets, more billions than what we spend on foreign aid, that's a callback, that there's no other life than what's on planet Earth. He's like, there's no other life than what's on planet Earth. And I was like, really? Wow. Okay. Because I believe in UFOs and that we've been visited. Because statistically, with all the planets out there, seems like an impossibility that we haven't been, right? But we're arguing about it. And he's like, okay, so what you're telling me is that out there is an advanced civilization who has the technology to cross literally millions of light years to our planet, bend space and time so they can get here within just moments. And they're coming to visit Earth, which would be, ridiculous. He said, can you tell me why they would come with their advanced technology, come to a place like Earth? And I said, well, have you ever taken your kids to the zoo? Oh, come on, that joke was better than that. Yeah, this guy went to college up north, and I'm not going to mention which one it is, but it rhymes with Notre Dame. And he was pissed because I made an excellent point, right? And he was mad. And I guess he thought I insulted his intelligence, and therefore his college. And he was like, oh, so you're insulting my education and where I got it? Is that what you're doing? It's like, no. He goes, well, I have you know, at Notre Dame, we have a deep tradition and legacy of academics and athletics. Athletics especially. This year we're going to go undefeated. And I said, really? Undefeated? You mean in like rape accusations against your football team? I mean, yeah, if you look at the facts, the football team versus the St. Mary's students that are across the street, you guys are undefeated. I'm doing that joke specifically live because when I was working in news up in South Bend, I could never say shit like this. Big controversy that was going on for a while. It's kind of quieted down. It was the whole, who could use what bathroom thing. I don't really care. I mean, I could see where there'd be some confusion where, like, if, your mom and you're in the bathroom with your daughter and she's like, Mom, why's that lady got such a big penis? You see why there'd be a problem. But outside of that, it's a bathroom, My thing is, like, if you identify as somebody that has to take a shit, I don't care where you go. Just let them go to the bathroom. Bathrooms are confusing, though. Always been, and they're sexist, too. If you don't know this, ladies probably don't know this. Guys absolutely understand this. Because, like, guys, as a group, we've all, like, taken a peek in the women's bathroom at one point. And the disparity between men's and women's bathrooms is astronomical. Like, you go to a woman's bathroom, and there's, like, gold leafing around the mirror, and there's pot puree in a little bowl and napkins. You go into a guy's bathroom, it's dirty. There's just one 5-gallon bucket in the middle of the room. There's, like, one swinging light bulb. This sick cat in the corner just going... It's ridiculous. I always have weird experiences in bathrooms, too. I don't know why. I just think it's like universally, it just happens to me. Like I went to a bathroom one time, and not even like a joke to it. I was peeing in the urinal, and the stall was like right next to my urinal. And there was a dude, and I hear like money dropping on the ground. And like money dropping on the ground, what's crumpled up makes a very specific sound. So he's dropping money on the ground, and I hear him going, "Thank you, monkey god." Not even a joke, it was just weird. One time I walked into the bathroom, and the guys in the audience and out there, you understand, like, there is a certain etiquette that you have when you go into the bathroom that you don't violate when you're a dude. One, you don't talk to one another, you know? You don't do that. The other is, whenever you're using the urinal, you don't walk up and like a 2-year-old drop your pants all the way to the floor. Like underwear and all. And I walked into the bathroom one time when I was, a long time ago, I was working in this factory. And I walk in, there was a line, and there was a dude in front of me, his name's John. And he walks up and he just drops his pants. I mean, and every dude in the bathroom kind of just did that, like, you know, saloon where the music's playing and then it fucking stops, and just to look at him. And he just dropped him to the ground, and you know, he's peeing. And not only was that weird, but also his underwear was torn. So it was hanging down, like it was completely torn here in the middle. So yeah, there's the weird thing of like, dude, why would you even put that on? It's like an underwear skirt. But he like, the back of it was gray, and it had holes. It was tattered. It looked like a haunted house curtain that was flapping in the wind. It's disgusting. Being an adult sucks. Can I get an amen on that in a church? Amen. It does suck. It does suck because the thing is, we have bills, we have all this other stuff, and like, we're just trying to be kids again. Like, I've noticed that. I'm 40, and like, and mentally, I still feel like I'm 17, 18, and I'm still like just trying to get back to this, like, won't somebody take care of me and pay for shit and like feed me and things? But no, like, we're adults now, and it's tough, and we're trying to get back to being kids. And I know this is true because there's something out there called vitamin gummies. Right? Exactly. And dude, I can tell you right now, in my medicine cabinet, I have at least 3 bottles of like normal vitamins that just have dust on them. They've never been opened. But man, I can't keep vitamin gummies in my house. It's like, I'm going to have some like blood toxicity issues. These are delicious. Got some good news. I'm engaged. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. She is awesome. It has taken me a long time. I actually, because I've been married before and I got divorced, and I just like swore I was never going to get married again because like I got abused and shit my first one, and I'm kind of, PTSD and shit, but like she broke through and just kind of like a koala latched onto my leg and wouldn't let go. So she was persistent. Like, she broke down all the walls, and now I'm just like putty in her hand. She's a great gal. Really had to wade through a river of trolls, too. She's cool. She took me to this place called Bath and Body Works the other day. You guys ever been there? Okay. I had no idea what this place was. Like, I understand Bath and Body Works. I, was walking to it. I was like, oh, there are probably bath products in here. As soon as I walked in, I realized that place is laid out exactly like every married couple's house in the country. Because you walk in, and 99% of the walls are all glitter and rainbows and candles and like country shit that you'd hang on the wall. And then in the far corner, there is a tiny section of shelves that is the guy's shit. Right? Which is just like every house. Because my house is like that now. I didn't even mean for it to happen. It was just, we were moving stuff in, and she was like, see this little corner right here? This is where your desk goes. And every achievement you've had, like your trophies and your medals and your plaques, it's all going to hang right here in a 2-foot strip. So we go in, and like, there's just, every scent of like shampoo and hand wash and everything that is in that place, and it's all like geared towards women. Like, she picked up the first one and it was like Kitten Giggles, and the next one was like Lifetime Network, and then she picked up another one, was like, oh, Oprah's vagina. Jesus, this is getting bad. And finally, we make it over to the section where the guy stuff is. It's literally like 2 cents. The first one I picked up said, "You're wrong." Next one I picked up said, when you're inside of me, I feel nothing. Oh, ow. But I do love the Scrubby station. You guys know what I'm talking about? Oh, see, dude, you don't know. I'm telling you, man. Like, okay, so they have this sink in there. This is me just talking to a brother here. Go in there, and they have exfoliating scrubs for your hands. And cashing in my man card here, but it feels delicious. Yeah. This new stuff's not doing too bad. Like, I'm actually doing well in front of tens of people. When I first started dating my now fiance, when you first start dating somebody and you're finding out all the new stuff about them, right? And you're having all those conversations, you're figuring out, what they like, what they don't like. And she and I were having this conversation about if we had nicknames for, our stuff, right? And my fiance is a huge video game fan. She loves video games, loves playing them. And so I asked her, I said, what's your nickname for your girl? And she says, well, I call it my PlayStation. And without missing a beat, I go, oh, I guess that makes my last girlfriend my Xbox. Actually getting applause. Like 50% of the room is women, so I'm not doing it. I got you. Thanks, brother. Let's see. Done that. I like puns. I think most comics do, because we've got that like really laser-focused sense of humor where we try to think on the very edge of like comedy, and like JC was doing all this like edgy, like, oh, I'm half black, half white, and pew pew pew. But I like puns, And I have this running joke, and it's a dumb one, but it always seems to work. So I was at the bank the other day, and I was, exchanging my money stuff with a teller, and like I dropped something on the counter, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she goes, "Oh, you're fine," and I go, "Well, thank you, but that has nothing to do with the fact that I dropped the pin." Yeah. But the thing is, it never works. It never works. Except this time, because she looked at me and she goes, "You sure is." Yeah. I was trapped. Because I was a nerd when I was in school, and I never talked to girls because they scared the shit out of me. I just pushed my money at her and ran out of the building. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine the other day. His name's Christian. And he wanted to go out drinking, go into the bars. And, I don't really like doing that, but, he's a friend, and so we do stuff for our friends. We hang out with them, do the things they want to do. And he wanted to go drinking in the bars, and I said, okay. And so he's real confident. He was like, "Hey, we're going to go to the bars, and we're going to pick up chicks. I'm going to pick up a lot of chicks. I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them." I said, "Christian," I said, "Dude, you're 44, you're balding on top, and you got a ponytail that goes down to your ass. You like to wear tight leather pants. You've got 3 maxed out characters on World of Warcraft. Dude, your nickname should be Swipe Left." Thanks for doing that Tinder thing, because it reminded me to do that joke.
Happy to.
Yeah, thanks. Oddly enough, I also have accidentally racist material. So, do you mind?
Go for it.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. No, it's because some shit that happened to me like 12 years ago. It was an accident. But I do. I asked that question to whom I said too. I go, "You ever been accidentally racist?" I don't mean like you wake up in the middle of the night, you stub your toe on the dresser, and you're like, "Ah, fuck, Chinese people have small dicks." I mean, like, you do something, especially as a white person, and you didn't mean for it to be racist, but it really seemed like it was racist. Like, say, I don't know, you're in the parking lot of a Marsh, and a black dude walks by your car just as you're putting it in drive and all the doors lock. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, that was not for you. This happened to me. Do you guys remember the movie Hoosiers? Okay, so do you guys remember that one school that they played at the very end, from the big city? Well, it was a school in South Bend, Indiana, and it was Central High. And they turned that high school into an apartment building, and that's where I lived for a while, for like 4 years. And so the rooms were huge, everything in the place, because it was an old school, everything was huge except for the front entrance, which was it was like a single door, and it was a small one. It was not even as wide as this, it was tiny, and you had to get in, you had to use a fob swipey thing to get into the building. And so I'm coming home one day after work, and I walk up to the door, and I, fob swipey the thing, and I open up the door. And at that same time, this old black dude in a wheelchair comes rolling through the door. And I was trying to be polite, oh, excuse me, and I opened the door all the way, right? Trying to be polite. And as I opened it, I noticed there was not a lot of room. So I kind of pushed myself up against the wall, and I twisted right at my midsection. And I had a lot of Mexican food that day. And as he rolled through, I shat right on him. And there was no way to explain to him that was not a hate crime. And you know what I actually did? I ran. Like a little bitch, I just ran into the building. As the door was closing, I heard him go, "You white motherfucker." Oh, wow. Race is a hot button issue nowadays. And I fight with people online about it constantly, Not that I'm pro hating black people or pro hating. I'm actually pro everybody just shut the fuck up and try to get along. Because, thanks. Well, you may not realize it, but the powers that be want us to fight each other. They don't want us fighting them. So it really is an us against them, but as long as they keep their little puppets pissed off at each other because of shit that has happened in the past, currently, whatever, they still get to do the shitty shit that they do. So if we stop fighting each other, maybe we can win some of the shit back, right? Thanks. Now that's coming from a kid that grew up in Deer Creek, Indiana, population 200, right in the middle of a bunch of cornfields. There were a lot of racist assholes where I grew up, a lot of them. And, it's weird because you grow up in that environment. Literally, at my high school, we had 3 black kids. And that's because they were adopted. Yeah. Not even naturally. Bust them in for the family. And so, you hear all this stuff growing up, and you're very isolated in the country. But then you start traveling. I started doing comedy, and I started getting out in the world, and I'm like, wow, all of these evil things I've heard in my life, you shouldn't say in public. The Brazil nuts. Do I even need to go to explain to you what my grandfather used to call these? Yeah, right, because Inward toes. Yeah, that's what he called them. But he did it naturally, just rolled off of his tongue. And to me, as a kid, I had no idea. I had no idea until I was out in the world, saw some Brazil nuts, and I go, oh, look at these. And they were like, holy shit, you can't say that. But, my thing is, it's I'm like a fish out of water a lot of times in situations. And I think, and I'm going to tell you about a situation with me and being the fish out of water. But you should give me a round of applause for this. Back in 2004 to 2006, I got signed to do shows with Def Jam. Thanks. Now, the way it happened was complete accident. I got signed up because a buddy of mine, Jacob Ray, who's a comic, he's a damn good comic, he signed me up for this comedy contest on 38th Street, this club called Hey Chaz. Yeah, right? And he did not tell me that it was an all-black club, and he did not tell them that I was an all-white comic. So I show up for the show, and I walk in, and there was like 200 black folks in there, and me, right? And I step on stage, and like I've been doing this job for like 20 years now, and I've got about 2.5 hours of material tucked up in my head. I forgot every single joke that I knew, and I was up first. So I'm standing there on stage, and I forgot every joke, but then I remembered one joke, and it saved my ass, and I'm going to tell it to you. What does Snoop Dogg put in his washing machine? Bleach. Literally broke the ice. I heard a black guy in the front row go, "All right, Whitey." And so I get done. Remember, I'm from Deer Creek, Indiana. I get finished with my show. I actually got a standing ovation after my set. And one of the bookers comes up to me, and she's like, "Man, you want to do some shows with Def Jam? You got flavor for a white boy." What? Like what, Cherry? I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, no, you should do some shows for Def Jam. And I said, okay, because I was taking any show I could get at the time. And guess where they sent Sean from Deer Creek, Indiana, for his very first Def Jam show? That's right, 8 Mile, Detroit. True story. Driving down 8 Mile with Rob Day and Jacob Ray, and yeah, like driving down 8 Mile, we pull up to this intersection, and there was this black guy standing there. He had one of those clear see-through ponchos, no pants, and he was holding a machete. And I go, "Oh, look, it's the mayor of Detroit." So we go to this place called the Rosedale House. Now, the Rosedale House is like this diamond in the rough. It's like the Murat Theater in the middle of a war zone on 8 Mile, right? I mean, like, we're literally stepping over crack pipes and Bruce Jenners to get inside. And the MC for the show's name was Black Coffee. Now, right? Oh, Black Coffee's a great dude. He's like this tall and about 3 of me wide, right? And was just killing the crowd, just destroying. And so it's a Def Jam show, all black crowd, right? So he's killing, gets a standing ovation at the end. And he's like, "All right, time to bring up your feature act for the night. You may have seen him on CBS Stand-Up Spotlight. You may have seen him on Comedy on the Road. He just got signed to Def Jam." And when he said that, they all stood up and gave me a standing ovation, but they hadn't seen me yet. So he goes, "Let's welcome to the stage, Sean Shank." I come running out. They're applauding, and they see me, and they go like this. "Ha!" I swear to God, this little black lady in the front row leans forward. She goes, "Oh, sweetheart, are you lost?" Like, I wish I was. Bleach. There's actually a lot more to that story that ends up with the Detroit police getting called on me. But I've got like 2.5 minutes left, so I can't tell it. But I survived, obviously. This has been a ton of fun. When I found out the world was ending, and we had, he's back there on a generator, just pedaling away. I thought, oh, this might not go well, but like, it's been good comedy. You guys have been a lot of fun, been receptive, to 75% new stuff. So thanks. God bless you. That sounded like a sneeze. Was I off? Okay. So I'll leave you guys with this. I have a niece and 2 nephews, niece and 2 nephews, and love them to death. They're good kids. And my niece Hannah is 18. She's actually a senior in high school now. She's a great kid. Jacob is just about to turn 16, and Jackson is 6. He was a little bit of a surprise. But love them to death, good kids. And when they were little, and I mean, I know they're little now still, but I mean, little. Uncle Sean used to come over and babysit a lot, right? And so I come over and babysitting one night, and it's just Hannah and Jacob. Hannah was 5, and Jacob had just turned 3, right? And for those of you out there that have kids, when you have a boy and a girl and they're that close in age, give them baths together, right? Saves time, saves water, etc. And so I'm giving them a bath. I'm not thinking anything of it. But then Hannah, little shit, she keeps looking over at Jacob's stuff, and she just keeps looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, and like in my head I'm going, oh shit, there's a question Uncle Sean's gonna have to answer and he doesn't want to. And finally, the little shit, she stands up in the tub just like this. Hey, Uncle Sean, when am I going to get one of those? And boop, she booped it. And without thinking, I go, well, if you're anything like your mom when you're a freshman in high school. And I didn't babysit anymore either. So. Dude, I'm coming in right at the finish line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm such a pro. Good night.
Keep that going for Sean Shane. Now, we've shuffled things up just a little bit here at the Comedy Grinders tonight, just for tonight's show, because we didn't know whether my legs were going to be able to pedal this generator all night. So we got a couple of extra comedians to grace our stage this evening. The first one, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Joe Swaz.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Joe. People ask me, I'm new at comedy, and people ask me who are my favorite comedian heroes. I tell them that I look down on all of them because I'm 6'4". Yeah. I've been reading about the great comedians like Bill Cosby. Yeah. Yeah. It's really weird reading the paragraphs and thinking, oh, now I see why he's a rapist. Yeah. Have you ever noticed the similarities between comedy and football? Both require illegal drugs for you to perform better. Thank you. Since this is the First Church Canvas, we have the great Holy Highs here. Since this is the second time I perform it here, I figured I'll do something incredible, something new. I'll smoke some pot. Does anybody have a lighter? Obviously, that sketch won't work. Seriously, I think cannabis is a healing drug, and this weekend there's a community of faith that's happening this Sunday, and just like those people at Standing Rock, I'm just gonna wear my Canitarian shirt there and just speak out the holy truth that this is a holy high. Thank you. Let's see. I do work at Meijer grocery store. When I started out, I had 3 interviews and wasn't sure if it was kind of like a date. So I was sent to HR because I kissed the manager. They did send me to first work as cashier, and I always ask people, would you like that in cash, credit, or doubloons? Yeah, actually, one customer laughed because he was wearing an eye patch. So anyway, they sent me off to the milk department, and my family calls me the milkman. Of course, as you know, it's freezing back there, so they should call me Mr. Freeze. Yeah. Anyway, there was one time that I had my arm injured, and they sent me off to third shift as a greeter. I would always say, "Welcome to Meyer. Now, what the fuck you doing here?" And when they would leave, I would say, "Please have a nice day and don't die." I say that to everybody, except to people at old folks' home. Yeah, so I'm still new to comedy, so I might as well tell some good old jokes. Like, have you heard about the devil goes to a lawyer and asks, "I will make you the most famous lawyer in all of America, and everybody will know you. But I'll have to take the souls of your wife and children." The lawyer says, "Okay, that sounds like a reasonable deal, but what's the catch?" Obviously, there's a lot of comedians already heard that joke. All right, how about one from Lenny Bruce? A used car salesman is selling a car that was used in a suicide pact. He said, it's in great condition. All you have to do is wipe off the lipstick off the exhaust pipe. All right, that's my time. Thank you.
All right, keep that going for Joe Swaz. Okay, our next special guest, rolling right along here at the First Church of Cannabis. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Jason Willenberg.
Good evening. For those tuning in a little late tonight, we are running on limited power. We're actually running on bicycle generated power, and they pressed Joe and I kind of into service because Jerry decided to take a turn on the bike. After about 3 minutes, he was wheezing like a Walmart princess at Golden Corral. So he's currently recovering. Granny J, when she pulled him off the bike, called him a fucking pussy and get downstairs and put some bread in the oven. So she's currently on the bike, and right now the air conditioning's running. She's a tough gal, I tell you. So, to kill time for Jerry's recovery, this is First Church of Cannabis, and it is in a building intended to be a church, originally built that way, and they have a baptismal back in the back. And when I saw this, I was kind of, first thing that hit my mind is, anyone ever pee in there? I mean, people, it sometimes happens accidentally. You get into a pool, you get into water, it just happens. I mean, the guy the minister takes a person, dunks him in the name of the Father and the Son and the holy shit, are you pissing? God damn it, I just washed these robes. But, baptism, it seems a little extreme. Catholics kind of do it, a little sprinkling of water. But Catholics, they go for the full water dip. It's like they went bigger and better. But I just don't understand it, though. It's kind of like they're waterboarding your sins away. It's like they hold you down. Confess in Christ. Do you believe in Christ? Where's the weapons of mass destruction? Where's the weapons of it? Sorry. I know, you're thinking, damn, he's rocking the dad bod. And Kimber, yeah, I am a wizard. But anyway, yeah, I am a dad, and I kind of came into it kind of suddenly, not in the normal way, where birth and suddenly dad. I have stepkids, and one of the first experiences I had was my stepson asked me a question, and it was one of those questions, the kind that you kind of dread happening. It's like, I want to ask about ejaculation. All right, what sort of question do you have? It's like, well, do you see it when it comes out? Yeah. Do you see it squirming? Boy, sperm isn't singular in this case. There's thousands that come out. And he's like, mind blown. But the bad side of me, you know, I was still new at this. I kind of went, but after 100 times, your balls explode. Which I didn't think much of it afterwards. And we were telling the story around the table when he was an adult. And I silently, you know, hear from the end of the table very quietly, he goes, that 100th time scared the hell out of me. He counted. He kept track. It's the best practical joke I've ever could have planned, but I didn't even plan it. Scarred him for life, but... So, welcome to the 3 a.m. hour at the Jerry Lewis Telethon, where it's entertainers entertaining entertainers. Want to throw it over to the tote board? No. One thing about the Jerry Lewis Telethon that kind of always struck me odd, and if anyone else can think about this, is it ironic that at the end of the telethon he always sang, "You'll never walk alone"? To kids in wheelchairs, I mean... I can't think of anything more cruel. Tears streaming down his face and the kid saying, "You fucker, I just..." But by Jerry's laughter from the back of the room, I think he's recovered, and I think he's ready to come up. So that'll be my time. Keep it festive, everybody. Thank you.
Keep that going for Jason Lillard. Okay, he's got all sweaty now, and he's taking care of the power situation. So I think it's about time for him to take the stage, grab that microphone, and have some fun with Mr. Jerry Goebel.
Yay. Those guys are hilarious. Thanks for coming out, guys. I'm not actually Jerry Goebel. I'm Jerry Goebel's body double. Jerry didn't make it out of the kill room. It was, body doubles are great. I think it's an amazing thing to have. I mean, Saddam Hussein had a body double, you know, so it stands to reason that if you were a powerful position today, you would have a body double. I think that'd be great. Because I'd commit crimes. I sure fucking would, man. I'd be located somewhere else where you could just say, "Oh no, Jerry was on stage when the murder happened." And then I'll be up here doing my, "Hey, I'm Jerry Goebel's body double." It's really an admission of guilt, because right now the real Jerry Goebel is murdering the cocksucker that walks through the alley at this place during the day and talks shit. He's killing him right now. But he's on stage right here doing this. Isn't that surreal? Doesn't that blow your mind? Canitarians at home are going, "Oh my God, what's going on? I did 3 bong rips, and now I know his doppelganger's on stage admitting to a murder that's being committed right now. Oh my God, what will the neighbors protest?" Oh, it's great. So, okay, so Standing Rock, interesting. So here's a story that was just on Facebook a little while ago, which is pretty funny. Funny in the sense of that, oh, really? You know, that kind of funny. Okay, so a Native American girl in California was given a reduced grade because she wouldn't stand for the national anthem. And I'm like, that's hysterical. I mean, it's just like to the point that you're bringing all the threads together in one story. You know what I mean? Colin Kaepernick was visiting school that day when they reduced this poor Indian girl's grade by a letter grade. Frankly, I would think more American Indians would have trouble passing American history. Just because they look at every question and go, "Well, that's bullshit. Oh, well, that's bullshit. Well, that's bullshit. Well, that's bullshit. Well, that's bullshit." Let's talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, the first bombing in the United States. Oh, do you read about that? No, I never heard about it. Crazy American history. Teapot Dome scandal. I remember that. That was a big to-do in the world events. Teapot Dome scandal. Boy, that was right there in that middle of the history book. You know,
I always thought American history was interesting because when it got to that point when you were talking about the 20s and 30s, they kind of glazed over, from the 1860s over, they kind of glazed over a lot of that. It was mainly about land acquisition and moving, but they never talked about the real, what was going on. I think that's hilarious. And then, but you know the truth, and then you got to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance when it's really just kind of a, I don't know, if you're an American Indian listening to that, it's kind of like an anthem to genocide, really, right? And you're going to be like, oh, stand up for that. People fought for your freedom to have that. You're like, yeah, okay. Groovy. History, huh? George Orwell was so fucking on point. It was scary, not even funny. It's the end of the night, it's the compound. I'm not really the comedian, I'm the body double, remember? I'm telling you that you need to free yourself from the lizard people's influence. They will never, ever let you be a free race until you overcome the Illuminati that runs your life right now. So, that's right. That's right. So when Eli Lilly tells you to do your pharmaceuticals, you just say no. Just say no to all the cures. The cures. Oh, they had to announce that there was mercury. There was another thing about vaccinations. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, you can say what you want about them being that way, but honestly, as a parent, I find it disturbing that you just let some asshole put some shit in your kid. You don't know what it is, but then you read the warning label listing. It's kind of crazy. That's like, really, is it a question of authority makes you give up your rights? I didn't want my kids circumcised because every time I thought about the word, my dick hurt. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be the good father. I don't know if I want to clip the end of his dick. And then it was like the peer pressure element of the nurses and the doctors and the wife going, well, you're going to have to clean under there all the time. Dude, as a guy, knowing what I know now about how much I play with myself anyway, I would have kept the tip. I really would have. It would have been that big a deal. And they make it sound, oh, it's such a thing because I got to wipe it off. Because you got a handful of shit in your other hand, lady. Mellow out. You know what I mean? It's a fucking baby. What are you raising there? What are you raising? The reason that kid's got a problem because he doesn't know how to shit properly because he's so fucked up. He's, oh, mommy has a problem. Don't touch pee-pee. Gotta pee. Gotta poop. Oh, my God. Nation full of pussies are all scared of our moms. Oh, my God. Poop, pee-pee, foreskin. Get it cut off, Jerry. You should cut your son's foreskin off. Have someone do it for you. Call in a professional guy who handles other children's penises and let him handle it. It'll be great. It'll be great. So like you're enabling sociopaths with scissors near your kid's dick. That's great. Nothing makes you feel more comfortable as a parent than giving up that right to see your kid's wang get chopped on. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me in the compound. I don't know. But, I'm sure if I were really Jerry Goebel, I'd have a different opinion. But due to all the assassination threats and all that, got to keep him under wraps. He's got some amazing dick jokes that many comedians would kill for. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have any jokes. That's the thing. He's just crazy. It's really what it is. Fucking nut job. Don't tell him I said that. I still got to get paid. It's hard being a body double, man. The only other person I can body double for is like John Cusack. That's the only thing I got going. I can't do anybody else. Everybody else is done. Kevin Meaney lost a bunch of weight. I can't do Kevin, fuck that. And Hicks is dead. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Who do I impersonate? Whose body do I impersonate? It's a rough living, trying to pimp it out as a body double. Go to a body double wife swapping party. That would be interesting. They'd be like, whose wife was originally your original wife? We don't know. Things are working out. I know Bill would totally trade up. I think the new Hillary's like 30 pounds lighter. She's got a little more game in her, and that British accent makes her hot. Clinton can't stand not having anything without a little class to it. He goes after Beyonce every time she shows up in town. Let's face it. Come on. You've seen the pictures. Bill Clinton is like the sleazy Kennedy of that. It's like you start talking about these pedophile, predatorial, sexual demon guy. Lyndon Johnson showing his dick to people in the White House. How do these assholes get elected? How do they do that? How does John F. Kennedy manage to bang so many people in that place? You know what I mean? It's just really strange that I don't know. Just strange. Then Reagan shows up. Just say no. selling crack to your kids. And then your kids have to start doing sex stuff to pay for the crack. And then it's like that vicious circle of really training your kids how to fuck poorly. That's really the lost thing from the 60s. And during the 60s and the free love, you were learning about, everybody's kind of learning about the whole love and touch and feeling thing. And then the 70s came on, it was coked up and a little weird. And then the 80s, it was all about the money and the coke. And then a little bit about the born again thing. I thought it was really interesting that the yuppie rise happened the same time that PTL became a thing. You know what I mean? It was all of a sudden, it was like the natural evolution. It's like you're young, you got money, and you're a powerful person, and you snort it all up your nose. And then you realize you got to cover that shit up, and you become religious. And then you get the bad hair because you don't really know what religious people do. That's where they shut up. That's the whole Reagan thing. Everybody thought Reagan, everybody in the PTL had Reagan hair. You know, the whole, you know, it's like helmets, really. That's what it was. They were the precursors of Donald Trump's hair. A lot of people don't follow the history of hair, but really, Donald Trump's hair, actually, when you consider Don King, the amount of effort for tensile strength to go straight up, that's really hard to do. That's not something you can do. And the thing is with Donald, it still really looks like an orangutan scalp. And it just kind of, well, you know, you guys saw Every Which Way But Loose, the way the hair lays on the orangutan. You saw it. It's the natural curve to the head, you know. So, yeah. Man, I hope he's buried that body by now. I'm just like, Jesus, Goebel, what are you going to do? And he's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking spike his law and I'll get him while he's great. I'm like, geez, that's pretty. And your car doesn't work half the time. You're going to put a body in that trunk? Really? You're going to drive across town with a car that sputters half the time. That's a great way to meet a lot of interesting cops that are very friendly. They will come up and help you service your car while you've got the body in it. Oh my God. Think you'd have an anxiety attack then, Jerry? You probably would. You're kind of a pussy in a tense moment. You know? Goebel does that all the time, and he freaks the fuck out. I swear to God. He's just such a, invites a DEA agent to a show, right? This is what kind of a dumb fuck Jerry Goebel is. Let me tell you. Don't tell him. Okay, so he's got this thing about comedians, right? He's like, oh, comedians, I love comedians, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, the fucking guy's dumb, right? I mean, where's the money, Jerry? Fucking idiot. Anyway, so he invites this lady just sight unseen. He knows her from somewhere, and she shows up, and she's standing there, and she says she's a DEA agent in the First Church of Cannabis. Now, I don't know about you guys, but occasionally I'm holding, and then here he is inviting a goddamn DEA agent to the fucking First Church of Cannabis comedy night. Oh, that's funny, Jerry. That's a funny first night of making me your body double, you cock. Really. And then, you know what I mean? It's sort of like hazing. It's the twisted prank kind of shit. Inviting the DEA to your first night as a body double is not fucking cool, okay? It's not. I tell you what, if there was an Angie's List for body doubles, I would be really fucking pissed with Jerry right there, because I'll tell you what, it's just shameful sometimes the shit he gets away with around here. And that's just because nobody's got any short-term memory, They could line up all the shit he's pulled. They'd be like, Jesus, what the fuck, man? This guy's a train wreck. And, but yeah, they invites the DEA agents. Everybody's freaking out. We got cars out in the parking lot that's got a cop's plate on it. Everybody's freaking out, Everybody's got their bug-out bags. They're breaking out the windows and shit. And, it's really just not cool. Anyway, Jerry Goebel's kind of a rotten person. It's just a dick. I don't know if I'll work for him again. Kind of hoping somebody does shoot him, actually. I really think, because sometimes, come on, cosmic payback, really, You bring these things upon yourself, man. That's what's going to happen, you dumbass. Anyway, so I don't know if this has been comedy or not, but I'm not really a comedian. So, I know. You get into a career of being a bodyguard, and then, because they don't really train you for setups and punchlines when you're supposed to jump in front of stuff, It's not really, as an opening act, maybe. As a sidekick for a guitar act, but never, not something in the field. Like Whitney Houston, the bodyguard, would have been would have been totally different if it had been a comedian playing the bodyguard, because he'd be too busy dissecting the assassination to stop the bullet. You know, wouldn't it be funny if this happened? Oh, I'm sorry, Whitney. Oh no, they got you, Whitney. I'm a bad bodyguard. So anyway, fuck Jerry Goebel, and thank you guys. Good night, and thanks for coming out to Comedy Grinder.